So I want to show you today the fertilizer formula that I use to fertilize the hanging baskets and the pots on the porch. And if you do this, your pots can look awesome all summer long and into the fall. A lot of times the hanging baskets and the pots will look kind of bad in the summer and they look kind of run down and just kind of wilted. But if you follow this formula that I'm about to show you, they can look awesome all summer long and be beautiful. There are a few ingredients to this fertilizer program, okay? The first is this stuff right here. This is by FERTILOME. It's a 20-20-20 fertilizer, water-soluble fertilizer. It looks like this. It's kind of clumpy. It's not supposed to be clumpy like that. It's supposed to be a powder. The second thing is this FERTILOME Blooming and Rooting, the 958-8. Okay, so this is the same stuff. It's a powder, water-soluble fertilizer. So this stuff as well is called hydrotane. This stuff is a wetting agent and it will help the soil retain moisture so it doesn't just continue to drain out and you lose all your water. So using these two, you want to fertilize every other time you water, okay? So every other time you water, you want to use a fertilizer, one or the other. So every other day, you're going to use clear water. So clear water on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then on Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, you use this one or this one. So on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, you alternate. Tuesday this one, Thursday this one, Sunday this one, and then Tuesday, you get the idea. So this is also really important as well. With this fertilizer, you do not want to follow the directions on the label here for this formula. So what you want to do when you're using a fertilizer, you put in 1 teaspoon of fertilizer per 1 gallon of water. So the fertilizer comes with a spoon. So what you need to do, if you've got 5 gallons, you put in about 1.5 of these. So you would want 5 teaspoons. So on the 6-gallon buckets, you're going to put in 2 scoops. So 6 teaspoons because it's 6 gallons. Once you get the fertilizer added, you fill up the buckets. Once you get the bucket about maybe a quarter filled or half filled, I like to use this little drill to dissolve the water-soluble fertilizer. Once you get the fertilizer dissolved, you just continue to fill up the bucket. So you want to use this product about 1 time per month. It will help the soil retain moisture. So you know how the soil kind of pulls away from the edge of the pot a little bit and then the water just kind of drains through? This will help with that problem and it'll help the soil retain moisture. I know some people are going to say, don't put the end of the hose down into the water. I know, but I'm bad. I don't do things according to the perfect way that everybody else does it. I put the hose right down in there and it's bad, I know, but that's the way I do it. So I've got all the buckets full, okay? So you just water your pots like you normally would with this water and fertilizer. This works good for really anything. This works good for your perennials. If you've got annuals in your beds and stuff, it works good as well for that. And so now all I need to do is just water the pots. So once the water gets down to just a couple gallons here, it makes it a lot easier to do the hanging baskets. Okay, so now that I've got this empty bucket that I just watered these pots over here, I like to dump some of the bigger buckets into here. Makes it a lot easier to manage. Let me guess, I should be wearing gloves for this. Okay guys, so I've fertilized all of the hanging baskets and planters on the porch. And I've got one over there, and I've got one hanging up right here. So last year in this ring I had a bunch of annuals. This year I'm trying the dahlias or the dahlias. And I've got probably maybe 6 or so planted in here. So you can use the fertilizer on these as well. Works very well. Okay, so I'm done doing the fertilizing. It's really quite easy. It takes about maybe 10 minutes or so. Again, there are 3 products. This you use once a month. It's called Hydrotain. About maybe do it a little bit more than that. You got the FERTILOME Blooming and Rooting. You got the FERTILOME All-Purpose 20-20-20. So these 2 you alternate every other time you fertilize, and you only fertilize every other time you water. So every other time you water, you want to use clear water. So you use 1 teaspoon of this per gallon of water, and then you just water like you normally would. It's really quite easy to do, and it works all summer long, and they will look as good as these do now, and they will just get bigger and bigger and bushier and bushier, and they'll hang down and trail, and they'll just look fantastic. I promise you, this formula is a no-fail formula. It'll work. It does take some effort, and you do have to be diligent about using it, and you do have to be diligent about watering, and you got to be on your toes. But I tell you, it works fantastic. I do have a drip system hooked up to all of these planters with my sprinkler system, and I'll normally run that every other day for the clear water. And I'll show you that drip system a little bit later in a separate video. You can get these at your local big box store normally. Somebody else was trying to find this one and had a really difficult time trying to find this. He kind of drove all over town looking for it, and then he finally found it at a nursery or something. But I'll leave links down below where you can get them online, and it's a lot easier that way because it just gets shipped to your door and you know you're getting the right product. This one and these 2 from FERTILOME. So anyways, I appreciate you guys watching these videos. I recommend giving this a try. It'll work out well for you, and I will see you in the next one.